this has gone past any kind of statistic, past any type of the virus, and this has gone. Our world right now is at its heart. It's at its heartbeat. It's at its heart's center. Hold on, guys. And we've got to really address it. And so I don't know if you guys are members of the Recovery Room family yet on Facebook. If you are not, please just go to your Facebook page and go to the search thing and type in the Recovery Room and the excuse me, and the little guy will come up that's in the bed, and I think you hit this button to join it. Usually on there we post today's topic, and there's also some other interesting activity going on there with people sharing stuff and their testimonies, their strength, their wisdom, their hope, and hope and love, are what we're primarily going for. And oftentimes telling somebody the truth is about can give them as much hope and love as possible. I think I'm gonna do. Look, this is a product placement here.
Okay.
Our soon-to-be sponsored Subway.
Okay, right up the street.
Even though I don't eat there, but that's another story. Oopsie.
Delicious.
Anyway, so today's topic, and I think it's a topic we did several months ago, but it seems to just continue to come back. Today's topic is E Pluribus Unum. E Pluribus Unum. Is this still on money? I'm not quite sure. It used to be a thing that was on our money that you could you see it there and remind yourself, because it stands for out of many one.
E pluribus unum.
Out of many one. E pluribus unum. And so, with everything that's coming on, like me lately, I've been saying it over and over and over and over and over again, Viva Corona, because it for me is a great panacea. It is a great, common denominator type situation where everybody is on the same page. Well, and then here come along in the course of maybe a couple of months, these stories about black men being killed, and me being a black man, I somewhat identify with the things, and then especially me being a angry young black man, because that's what I was. There was a time, back in the day, I won't get all the way into it, but I was not so nice and was not so kind, and I know the amount of anger that someone could be filled with. And so, about this knee on the neck thing, I got so much. This is the compounding of the coronavirus, because so much for social distancing, right? It's kind of hard to social distance during a riot. During a protest, it's hard to social distance. And so, I mean, in one way or another, sometime or another, this virus is going to spread through something. Something's going to happen. People are going to have to, some people are going to have to die. And that sounds very indifferent, but it's just the reality of the situation. I wish I would never have to say that, but that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, it primarily is going to be our senior citizens, and I got a couple right now that I love dearly, and I'm just saying they in the house, man. They're not even coming out, which really kind of sucks. But at any rate, it's just this is the thing that makes it all. I mean, and so how ironic the knee on the neck story is. Because until Corona, the majority of us never even knew that we had the proverbial, metaphorical knee on our neck. That we had been hoodwinked and bamboozled, and like they said in Malcolm X. We didn't land at Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. And it still continue to land on us. But I want to say, I want to get a pluribus unum, right, out of many one. And I feel the need today to defend my white friends. Because I have many. Matter of fact, most of my friends are other than black, but that's okay because I got some really good black friends. But I feel the need to defend my white friends, because just like what has happened over the years, right? Every black man is this and every white man is that, and it's gotten so diluted and spread out. We gotta start separating and let's start being realistic about it. That young man does not represent the white race. Neither does the one on the ground, and neither was the one that was on his neck. We are a rainbow of things and so much good and so much passion and so much kind consideration as we have seen with the coronavirus. We've seen communities step up and help out, and it's like this is like the world flood, right? It's kind of like the world hurricane, right? Because normally the floods lately have been hitting South Carolina, but normally the floods, are tied to one area, like a certain place, and then people do come together and they come to the rescue and they do so many acts of kindness, because instinctually, guys, that's who we are. We are fighting our authentic selves to do anything outside of being kind and caring. And so these incidences, they keep coming up, and we keep talking about it. On the news today, they're saying that, well, the black man has done all he can. It's time for the white people to stand up. Whose time it is to stand up? Everybody's. It's everybody's time to stand up. Black folks, you ain't gone as far as you supposed to go. Maybe on a whole lot of levels we haven't earned the respect that we're craving. Sometimes respect is earned. Not to give anybody any right to do anything crazy like what happened, but we can't clump everything into one freaking basket and say that that's our world, because it is not. Our world is diverse, and I'm doing a little documentary with some tennis buddies that I play with in the morning, called the 17th Street Project, where we've got a variety of a huge diversity of people that come out there, all ages and colors and races and sizes and shapes and everything. And we all come together out there and we play this game called tennis, which is a very interesting game. It's a gentleman's game. Everything's about love. Love.
Means you don't have any points except
Yeah, if you're getting beat, it ain't no love involved.
That's right.
But anyway, we all get together and we play and we talk and we laugh and we joke and never in the course of the whole thing is race ever an issue. Somebody being a jerk, maybe, but not because of their race. And this is a thing that we just got to get over, but not even necessarily get over. I think we gotta. I want to pray for the young man who's I don't know, insane, momentary, or 9 momentary insanity. Because right now, and I want to pray for his family. When I say pray, I want to wish the best for them. Because this is like addiction, right? It's just like addiction. The storm is never your own. The storm affects everybody. Now, these guys are out of work during the corona a good job for that matter. And they still got to feed their families, but now their whole lives have changed, and so have the lives of the people around them. Just as addiction is, I mean, such a addiction is such a selfish thing, and hate is such a selfish thing, because it is as hard as this is to even imagine the hate that young man felt for that young black man, that he had his knee on his neck, is more inside of him than it is outside of him. It is not hate for that person. It is an inner hate. And we've got to start finding out how to address the inner hate that will have you project that out onto the world in whatever way that you, whether it be with domestic violence or something with children, or even just civil whatever. You know what I mean? It's we gotta come to this whole realization that the stuff starts inside. So what's wrong with that dude that had put his knee on his neck? What's going on with him? What's going on inside of him? You know, what happened? What makes a man snap? Because you don't take that job going in and saying, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna kill me a black man. No, I don't think for a second you take that job doing that, okay? But there are circumstances that build up in people's lives, and then somehow it's and it explodes out into all of us, and there's shrapnel everywhere. Look, we all have to experience now this whole. Of course, you can turn off the television, or you cannot listen to the news, or whatever the case might be. You can keep your head in the ground. But the reality is that we're all exposed to this now. We all have to deal with this hate. I've never seen so many white people crying in my life.
What?
I'm serious. All the newscasters are crying because, you see, it becomes a white thing at some point. Just like they try to make it a black thing, it becomes a white thing at some point. You know what I mean? And so you start accepting that maybe a few of my people's a little crazy. And maybe we need to recognize that, because it's a mental illness, folks. What you see spilling out onto our streets and that stuff and all that is all a mental illness, and we've got to address it more. If there's one thing I think that we need to address as much as anything, is that. I mean, we should be paying so much special attention to that, because, I mean, we're walking amongst them, obviously, right? I mean, and so e pluribus unum, out of many one. I believe that this is another one of those incidents designed to bring us closer more so than to divide us. I believe that the powers of multiplication will always win out over the powers of division. Okay? And so this is another chance to win. This is like that story, right? Where the flood came through town, and it got so high, the dude had to get up on his roof to be saved, and then this log came by, and he looked at it and said, "Oh man, I'm waiting for God to send me a sign." And then some people in a little rowboat came by, and he says, no, I'm waiting for God to send me a sign. And then a helicopter flew over and let down the ladder, and he said, nope, I'm waiting for God to send me a sign. And then he drowned. And then he got to heaven or wherever he was going, and he said, well, why didn't you let me drown? I kept praying for you to send me a sign. And God said, well, I sent you a log, which you could have easily used. I sent you a little rowboat, you could have used that. I sent you a helicopter. You wouldn't even take that. This is what's happening with all of these incidents. We keep waiting and looking for the one that's going to be the one that just turns us around. Well, Corona's already done that. This, on top of that, has added a whole brand new wrinkle to the game. And so I am once again encouraged. I am once again encouraged. And so weird, because a good friend of mine, Gil Fulton Ross, just fantastic artist. And I guess overnight was so inspired that she did this painting of the guy in Minneapolis and the officer, and it's so beautiful. And you say to yourself, how can something so beautiful come out of something so tragic? And that's exactly what we've got to do here. We've got to bring some beauty out of these tragedies. We talk about it every day. And people say, well, you guys talk about it every day. Well, we talk about it every day because it needs to be talked about every day until it comes around and everybody goes, oh, yeah. Oh, that's what we need to do. You know, yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to become existentialists. We need to come back into our inside our minds. You know, let's get back to thinking and being and inventing and doing and living and all that, because that's what this is about. This is the great reboot. This is the great panacea. This is the greatest opportunity for change that we had ever seen in the history of the world, as far as my world that I've been able to see. Okay, and then if you look historically, you can see the same thing. And so, you know, I encourage you to be encouraged. I encourage you to not get sad. I encourage you to stand up and say, damn it, enough is enough. I got to do something, you know. And then when we come home, because see, the recovery room back in the day was strictly and primarily about opioid addictions, because that was my passion at the time. And so along the way, you know, it's going on 3 years here, along the way we kind of found out that people are recovering from a lot of stuff, man. You know, and if used properly, you know, there's no problem. But but abuse anything, you know, eclairs or loud rock music. I don't know. You can go all the way down the list. You know, to abuse things is a whole nother subject. Okay, and so right now, I with so many things going on, my brain is all over the place. I wanna talk about the counterfeit $20 bill. You know, nobody's talking about the counterfeit $20 bill. What is the sub story? I'm a writer, so you know I think I'm trying to get to the sub story. Okay, so I think in pictures. So I'm picturing this dude, right? He's getting out his car, and he's got this $20 bill that he's trying to bust, and he feeling that this place is the one place he can do it, and also that place they got some things that he need to do, things that he needs to do. Which you guys are out there who know what I'm talking about, Okay, and then he went in there and that didn't go down so good, and they called the police. But I think instead of him hauling ass, he stuck around. And you know, don't know what happened, but there's you know, I always say, like, you know, every step you take, every breath you take, every thought you had, every action you take, every move you make, all the good times and all the bad times, all lead you to, like, us being here right now together. Okay, so there were a whole confluence of circumstances that led to that moment. That is, and somebody said something on the tennis court today about crucifying somebody, you know. And for me, it kind of rang as these people, these young people, and some of these old people, like the old guy and his son in Georgia. I mean, that dude too old to go to jail. He should have stayed his butt home, you know. I mean, and so I think about all the people, you know, that are affected, you know. I mean, and it's just so unnecessary. So, you we need to get to the bottom of where the hate and where the anger is. And all I can tell you is that it's inside. It's inside, right? It ain't outside. The hate's not outside. The hate is inside. And when it comes out and it's very ugly. And that's what we continue to deal with. We got people with pent up anger. The people that go in and shoot up nightclubs and schools, and I mean, just such pent up anger. And then and then you get these signs of these people that have these disorders, but the system is not geared towards the people getting the treatment that they need. They end up homeless on the street. If there's one thing that I hope that happens in the course of the next few years, is that we get health care in the United States of America together, where it is a right and not a privilege. And there's some way to do it, and the fat cats still get rich, man, because that's the only thing that's keeping it from happening, But we've got to have health care for everybody. We've got to have health care for our addicts, because so many of us were running and wanting and looking for help, and but can't get it because we don't have insurance or whatever the case might be, and so if there's something that should come out of all of this, if we can take and send everybody in the world $1,200, we can figure out how to take it and pay everybody that needs to be paid. This is the amount of money they need to be paid for everybody to be able to go to the doctor without it costing an arm and a leg and their credit stored for the whole rest of their life and all of that stuff. And so we really, really seriously need some Medicare. I've been going on. Who's on here? Hey, Christy. Hey, Judy. Hey, hi. Hey, Billy, what's happening, man? Ain't seen you in a while, brother. Hey, the officer had many complaints on his record before. Yeah, that's right, because he had so much. This is Judy talking about the officer who did this, and I don't know, and it scared me because somebody sent me a picture of the one time that they saw the guy's face in the video, and it was like really demented. I mean, he had a really insanely demented look, but there's so much photoshopping and stuff going on. I can't wrap my head around that. But just like that, he's had many complaints. There are people who have had many instances that maybe perhaps if they could have gotten some help, gotten stabilized, that they wouldn't have ended up in the horrible situations that they find themselves in. Yeah, if people were talking about looking for an answer, I mean, and it's really crazy because where I'm come from, big old grown black men don't cry, but I've been seeing so many grown black men crying on television over the last little while. This is serious time, and this time it's almost a flashback to that Indian dude that used to be out there crying when everybody was dumping trash and on the street and in the rivers and all that, keep America beautiful. Well, now this is the time to keep America beautiful. This is the time that we come together, and whatever it is you do, I wouldn't give a crap what it was. You find something to do that is contributing positively to our society. It's contributing positively to a kid's view of the world, contributing positively to someone who may be on the edge, you know what I mean, post-traumatic stress, whatever it is. I've had one too many ODs, whatever it is, if you can just find them and do something with them to save them, because the more people like that we save, the better this world is going to be. Because I got to tell you, just based on myself, being able to come back from that and to get back to living a normal life, or whatever you want to call it, whatever normal is, but that I wake up every day not a slave to a substance, man, I gotta tell you that is a thing of beauty unto itself. I don't know if the phone has been transferred, but there's somebody there to answer, even even if it's not. The phone number, if you got anything you want to say about what I'm talking about, because these are just my opinions. This is not the opinion of the station. The phone number is there on the screen. Really dry today. I played a lot of tennis this morning. 941-201-5226. That is 941-201-5226. Call us. Let's talk, man. Y'all talk to everybody else. Call and talk to me. I like to talk. And if you don't have my personal number, if you have my personal number, call me on that. I got it sitting right here. Call me. We'll talk. Because it's a lot of stuff going on, and for some reason, for me, really enough, it just doesn't seem to be like something new or change or so dramatic or whatever. It seems like just right and just right for these times, and so I'm thinking, wow, what a remarkable time to be alive in this world right now, and I'm talking about the whole world. This is a world event that we're all experiencing, a world event, man, that we're all experiencing, and we're all going to get in and out of it one way or another. You know what I mean? We're all coming out of it one way or another, and I'm hoping that it's later, not sooner, and I'm hoping that if you live a long life, that it is filled with joyous things. It sucks to live a long life of suffering. What's the point? So I'm wishing everybody some clear thinking, hey, what's up, Regis? I'm wishing everybody some consciousness, some compassion, some love, and some freedom from some of the things that have held you back and held you down. And I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's procrastination. I don't care, if it's fear of success or failure. It doesn't matter. Either way, you gotta be moving. So you might as well make that move towards figuring out what you do authentically. Who are you authentically? I mean, what's your passion? What moves you? What guides you? What makes you gives you a little fire inside? These are the things that we got to find out during this particular time in our history, because when you get to the point where there's some immediacy to this thing of maybe dying and going to wherever you're going, then you gotta start getting that whole thing. It's like, what, if I'm getting ready to go out, let me do something just a little bit different. Let me change up a little bit so I can see a little bit of different side, because I don't want to go out like this. That's what I think to myself. It's like, man, I want to go out. I want to go out doing everything that I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? And when I go out, I'll be doing something that I enjoy doing. And that's just the way it should be. This is life. What else is there? We are the architects. We are the sculptors. We are the painters. We're the engineers. We're the designers. We're all that. We're all that wrapped up into one. And if we would just indulge ourselves, you could create some really, really cool stuff in your life right now, even during the corona, right now where everybody's crying, right now while they're riding, right now, you can still be thinking about what it is that's going to make you and yours happy and yours surrounded. Because see, this is what I talk about all the time. It's like, the only thing that you can control are the little actions that you have in your home and your little surroundings and what you do, all right? The rest of the world is so chaotic, it's absurd, it doesn't make any sense, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And so the reality of it is all you can do is take care of that, your nucleus, and make sure that you're solid, and that your solidness does reach out into as broader community as your community as you can. Be as big as you can, and that's it. That's it. There's no other existence. I don't know. This may sound simple. It may sound crazy, but it's really just it. And it doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. The desired destination is and it's not contentment like LC to count, but it is peace. Because there's that thing, right, that they call rest in peace. Well, what does that mean? That means that as before you transpired to the where you're going, you were at peace, and so you didn't go to the grave all like this. You kind of eased on in there. You know what I mean? So that's what we're striving for. But you've got to go inside. You got to go inside, and you got to find your God. And you know what that God, here's an acronym, so you can just maybe give you a kickstart so you can go and find Jesus or whoever it is you're going to go and find, Muhammad, whoever it is, you're going to find it's going to give you some direction. Until then, you look at God as G-O-D, good, orderly direction. Good, orderly direction. Okay? And then that's what you want to do, because you know the difference between right or wrong. Since the first time you touch that hot stove, you know about consequences. Okay, so these are things that are just internal that we either take for granted or we pay a close attention to. Okay, so good orderly direction is when that right thought in your brain and you know it's right, do that. If it got one that's a little bit shaky, you got to hide anything about, or whatever the case might be, then don't do that one. And then you start doing good stuff, and then good stuff starts to happen to you, because it's reap what you sow. Okay, that's what it is. So start in here and take the 21-day challenge. I challenge you that for 21 days to change every negative thought into a positive thought. If you feeling like angry, change that to happy. If you're feeling sad, change it to happy. Whatever it is, if somebody says something crazy to you that would maybe make you angry, don't get angry. Replace it with a good thought for 21 days, and then do that waking up. You let your waking hours, the moment you wake up in the morning, say, "Woo, Lord, thank you for something." Whatever it is, be grateful for something. Whatever it is, if it's just waking up, and that's always good enough. Okay, and then go through your day with that whole mindset of changing negative into positive. Be like the Cape Crusader, man. You know what I'm saying? Be out there and bomb, bing, zoom. Every time you see some negative, you're knocking it out with some positive. See how the world see how the world will change then. Okay? But you got to do your part, man. You just can't sit around and look. And I know when I say you, I'm talking about me. Oh, let me make this clear. I talk to myself. Okay? Anything that I say to anybody else, I'm actually saying to myself, or I'm actually living it, or can prove it, or whatever the case might be. None of this was learned from a book. Well, some of it was. I'll take that back. But most of it was learned on the hard concrete of New York City. Neither here nor there. I digress. Sorry. So yeah, if nobody's told you that they love you today, let me be the first to tell you I love you, and not some kind of goofy, kind of sexual kind of way. I mean, just like love and just hope beyond hope that you get the things that you need in your life, and hope that when you get them, you recognize them, and you take care of them, and you cherish them. Hoping that if you're actively using right now, that you would right now just put the pen down, put the point down, as we call it. Put the point down. Look at it for what it really is. It is an instrument of destruction for you. So put it down and paint yourself another rosier picture of what it'd be like if you was just going up to the Subway to get a sandwich. Know what I'm saying? I want that for you, man. If I can have anything in this world, I would want for all the addicts in the world right now that are banging and sniffing and whatever drugs, man, to stop. It's my world mission. It's my passion. It's more important to me than anything else, you know. And so if you just happen to be streaming by or whatever.
Streaming, that's a good question.
Are we streaming? It looks
I
like
don't know.
it. Well, it's everybody.
Facebook friends.
People are saying stuff.
What are they saying about Facebook?
They're not saying anything about Facebook.
No, they're not.
So that means there's
I
nothing to
get
say
a
about
message back from Facebook saying we're having trouble playing this video.
I'm not.
Don't know why.
I don't know why. It's technology.
Are you?
I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
All right.
Never mind.
Producer's a little nervous. Because you know we
I
beat
get
him.
nervous
We
easy.
beat him after the show. Every show that doesn't go right. Wow, bam, boom.
What the hell happened now? Just saying. Sorry.
Anyway, we got any sponsors?
Oh yeah, we can.
The Recovery Room is brought to you by several beautiful people, and we sure appreciate them for being our friends and business partners. POWarriors.com, the website created to connect our brave men and women of the armed forces, first responders, and medical personnel to our community of businesses and services that honored their service. POWarriors.com, protecting our warriors who protect us.
Spice up your next event with the Hammock Haven Experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute.
420.
Hello. Is that me?
Yeah, it is now.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Those are our sponsors. We love them. Hey, listen, the Onika's Farmers Market is where we're broadcasting live from right now, and they're really cool to allow us to do this here. This is going to be a hustling, bustling place, and we'll be handling the social stuff that they need to do, and that's really cool. They'll be having concerts and stuff for kids, and the drive-through Saturday,
Drive-in.
not through. In.
Drive-in
See?
Saturdays.
Yeah. Drive-in this Saturday. I don't know what the movie is. We'll start getting a list of it, and I'll let you know when we talk about it. But I think you can go to the Oniko's Farmers Market Facebook page and find out what's playing. If they don't, we'll whoop them and make sure they do it.
Sure enough.
Sure enough. So let me see. I'm using my phone, so I'm going to lose you guys for a minute because I got to go and find my favorite quote. That ain't what I wanted. Go away. Okay, so never mind. They don't want to do it, man. They don't want to do it. All right, where are we?
We're at 20 minutes.
We're
till
at 20 minutes till
the end.
the end. Okay, well that's good. It's been a interesting experience thus far. It's been a while since I've done a show by myself. I used to do them for a long time by myself, 5 days a week. Yeah, gotta go back and find a bunch of that footage because I was good back then. Anyway, yeah, gotta go back there.
Proof.
Gotta go back there and find some of that stuff because it was cool. It was good. All right, where are we at?
Right there.
Always. Often what appears to be a detour in life is actually the most direct and empowering path to your destination. Run when you can, walk if you have to, crawl if you must, just never give up. Don't wait for everything to be perfect before you decide to enjoy your life. Always pray to have eyes to see the best in people, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgets the bad, and a soul that never loses faith in God. Wrinkles mean you've laughed. Gray hairs mean you cared, and scars mean you have lived. They can all be considered just some cliche stuff. Just some clever words that somebody came with and wrote down. But because we were drawn here at this time, for this moment, for this interaction, all of those words are pertinent. They are useful to us, and so I do those quotes for that specific reason. We gotta. This is like the Great Awakening, the new Great Awakening. We've been praying for it and talking about it and gathering about it and all that for a while, and I think that the prayers and those who have been working in earnest on projects and things that they believe in. I believe that coming out of this particular season in this life, that the things that we cherish the most and love the most are going to be the things that we finally get the opportunity to enjoy the most. If you lucky enough to get old enough to start feeling aches and pains and so forth, you should be enjoying this life. It should be just a natural progression in our capitalist Republic of America.
Capitalist Republic. Oh my God.
That's gonna get me censored.
Somebody's going to get pissed about that.
Okay. Well, you know the number. You know the number. Give us a call. So I hope you guys out there are, if you're grieving about this, I hope that you'll find a way to understand that these things too will pass, and so that being the case, just go ahead and let it go now. Just go ahead and let it go now. Hey, there's that number again. 941-201-5226. 941-201-5226. I don't know. I think I didn't forward the phone to here, but there's somebody there, so maybe they'll answer it. What is this, though? The 2190 she's talking about. Okay, I missed some stuff. All right, looks like we're still on.
Okay, thank you.
Sean is watching. Let me see what happens. I never did this before. Maybe the opportune time to do it.
Okay.
Bring Sean. Hey, Sean, are you on camera yet? Because it says bring Sean.
Call the damn show,
Bring him.
dude.
It says bring him on camera. They'll receive an invite. Hi, room. I just slept 18 hours. God bless him. God bless him. He slept 18 hours, and that's a good thing. And that's the thing that I've learned during Corona is how to sleep.
Yeah.
Man, I could take a nap at any time.
Sure can.
Bam, sleep.
Yep.
All right. So at any rate, yes, it looks like we're still broadcasting, so you still got your job. So
Thank you.
that's why you make the big bucks. Yeah. So I'm here alone. I'm thinking about all my white friends, and I'm grieving for you guys because. Every time that somebody does something stupid like this, the way the world thinks is that all white people are like that.
It's about a culture.
And I say that in jest, but the reality is that that's what happens. And You know, at the end of the day, we're all in this thing together. We all bleed red. You know, until we get over our common foe, whether you're white, black, blue, green, and that's indifference. Indifference is what has killed us. Our freedom has become our nooses, our slavery. You know, our freedom, because we're freedom to not do anything. And that's what happens more often than not. We get the freedom not to do anything. And so, as we say every day, the cemetery is the most valuable property on the planet, because the majority of us go to the grave with our treasure still buried deep inside of us, all of our goodness, all, you know, our talents, our skills, the things that we could have contributed to the world to make this world a better place. The majority of us go to our graves with it deep inside of us, and that's a sad story. It's a sad commentary, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do a shameless plug. But you guys saw our sponsor there, PO Warriors. There was a website that was on there. That website was www.powarriors.com, and coming out of this thing, there's some people that are going to need to have reconsidered their employment, and that company is offering people the opportunity to go out and make a decent amount of money, immediate money, and as much money as you'd like to make. I know it's not a pyramid scheme. So, those guys there, yeah, check out that website there, www.powarriors.com, and there's a place where it says join our team. Do that to find out more information. Okay, and hey, so man, you know, what an interesting life it is right now, right? I mean, just very, very, very. Everything is thought-provoking. Everything is jarring. You know. Again, I think about all the lives that have just been totally changed overnight. You go from being a respected part of society, the ability to wear a badge and carry a gun, to being fired from their job and potentially being on the other side of the law, the bars, and for what? And for what? What is some unnecessary anger, some unnecessary hate, some unnecessary demons that are not being dealt with. And that's what we got to do, folks. We got to deal with the demons. You might as well call it what it is. You know what I mean? But you got to put your armor on, though, man. I mean, you got to really get tough now. This is the time. This is the time when where you buckle down and say, you know what? I've been meaning to do this. Hey, Teresa, I've been meaning to do this forever. Now is the time for me to get it done. Judy says, what can your white friend say or do?
You're right, Prince. You are not
Mine. You know what mine can do?
What a heavy question.
That's what I wanted,
Yeah,
man, because that's the
right.
question. No, what you can do is just be you. You know, what you can do is just wipe all that stuff clean. Don't get yourself wrapped up in everything that's happened, all your ancestors and all that. Come clean right now with yourself. Don't worry about yesterday. I'm talking about just yesterday. Don't worry about just yesterday. Let today be the day that you say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And that is, it is to attack and address indifference, not just injustice, but indifference anywhere you find it. If you find somebody floating along anywhere, address it. Take that mind and use it. Take that mind and wake it up. You know, they say ignorance on fire is better than intelligence on ice. You know? Take that mind and wake it up, my white friends. You know, you ain't got to be no different. I don't feel black around you, just so you know, my white friends. I don't feel more or less black around you. Okay? I feel like I'm just around you and I like being around you. So let's just let that be the thing. Let's let it be known that we've all got a common foe. That common foe is indifference, and we just got to address it like that. We have sat around for way too long with our thumbs up our butts talking about what we're going to do tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Or it comes and you still talking about it coming. You know, today is the day to make a decision, to address it. You hear it all the time. When you hear it, you should say, hey man, that ain't cool. You know, you hear people. Do you when the person in the next cubicle next to you is spewing some hate or whatever, do you just go, oh, that's just Johnny? So we got to address it. It's what it is. You know, we got to address it. It's what it is. I can only say that those police officers were lucky that they were in the part of town that they were in, because back in our day, that just wouldn't have went down like that. It'd have been some fighting with the police. I'll tell you that now. And I've said it and then I meant it. You know. But anyway, that's just the way that thing went down, and it sucks. You know. Yeah. Judy says, be nice. Yeah. Be nice. That'll be a good thing. Just be nice. That's it. That's that shirt, right? Just be nice.
Yes.
And it says it all. Just be kind. Be compassionate, because I think I'm finding as I grow older that compassion comes out of my mouth a lot, because I heard that compassion is seeing a need and filling it. And I think that's what's the thing needed most right now. I think what we need most right now is some compassion, plenty of love, because that's just the spread on everything that we do. That is a currency. It's like the more love you give, the more love you get. I mean, it's just the way it is. I didn't make it that way. I'm just glad it's that way. You know. But find compassion, man. When you see a situation where you can help some hungry people, or you can help some abused people, or you can help some mentally ill people. When you find yourself in that position where you can do that, I strongly suggest that you do it, because what I can guarantee you, it is going to be a life-changing experience. It's going to change everything in your life. It's the shift. It's the adjustment in the rudder, the just right adjustment in the rudder that's going to change your life. And especially now, because people need it. People are starving. People are at home and depressed. People are dying from despair, isolation. Addicts in particular. An addict alone is in pretty bad company, and so if there's nobody there that can bring them back, there's another death. And God, I'm tired of seeing that. Just tired of seeing it. I don't want to see it no more. So, anyway, yeah. If you're active right now, stop. Start stopping. And I don't even dig like that. I'm gonna just go that way. Just start stopping. I suggest you just stop. And just fight for your life, because that's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with your life, your whole life, your entire life. And it could be very short, or it could be long and prosperous, where you get to see. Your family, kids or nephews, nieces, whatever it is, grow up, and you get to contribute positively to the world. Because what I know about us as addicts, when we get that opportunity to come back, man, we are so grateful. We do just about anything. We do just about anything for just about anybody, man, just to help, just to feel, to be a part of something. And that always leads to some real solid friendships that are not about who's got the 8-ball or whatever, and all that craziness, or who's plotting what and scheming. No, all we want to do is do something creatively good for people. You know, have fun doing good for people. Man, that's what I try to do every day. I mean, you know, and smile, people. Right now, smile. You need to smile at some people. You know, smiles are contagious. Some hearts are heavy right now. There's some heavy hearts out there right now, and you've got to be that life vest. You know, you got to be that sea-doo. You know, that is rescuing some drowning folks out there. You know, and it's only about a kind word or a kind deed. It's only about a phone call to say, hey, listen, I was thinking about you, and so calling you. How you doing? That's all it is, man, and that's cool as it gets, right? Can't get much cooler than that. So, I'm looking for an army. I'm looking for an army of compassioners. I don't know what I'm calling it quite yet, but just go out there and show some compassion in this world. You know, do it on purpose, not by accident. Don't do it by accident. Do it on purpose. Do it on purpose. You know, that's what makes it count. That's what makes it real. That's what brings it from the heart. And you're not expecting anything in return. It's just what you do as a person. So this is a recovery room. I don't know. It's interesting being here by myself. My folks will be back. I guess next week on Monday. You guys have a awesome weekend. You know, do something kind and compassionate. Show a little love. Don't be scared to hug. If you've been within 6 feet of them anyway, might as well just go hug them.
Extra vitamins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And there's another. We'll be bringing. I got some interesting immune system stuff I'll be bringing to the table here soon.
Do it.
You know, because that's what you really got to do. You got to increase your immune system. And so I got some products I'm gonna be introducing. Might as well. And there's another opportunity for some people to make some money too.
That's right.
All right. Love you guys, and thanks for tuning in as usual. Be back on Monday with another episode of The Recovery Room.
You sailed away and left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you didn't.